Hello everyone. So I have a blueprint for a house. So let me call this as OG, original blueprint, not original gangster, but I will call it as OG. Now one of my friend comes and he will ask me to construct the same thing in his area. This is his house and he asked me to create the same house in his land. So will I create a new plan or will I just copy this plan and create here? So obviously I'm not going to create one and I'll just copy this and I'll call it as copy one. In the same way, another friend comes and he gives me his land and he asks me to create the same house. So I will create C2 and same. So if 10 friends or 10 clients come means I will just copy this original blueprint and create a copies here. So this is the basic relationship between a class and a object. So obviously you now come to know about the topic that we are going to learn today, that is classes and objects. So class and objects are the basic elements in a Java program. So what do you mean by class? Class is nothing but a blueprint of objects, and so object is nothing but a instance of a class. So we can say that class as a blueprint of object, so and object as a instance of a class. So what do you mean by instance? Instance is nothing but copy. That is the basic thing, nothing else. So let me take another example for you. So I have wood. So in wood, what I will do is what I will do is I will create some objects using wood. So what are the objects I am going to create? So I will create one duster using the wood, and I will create one chair using the wood. I will create one table using the wood. So I have created three objects using wood. One is duster, one is chair, and third one is table. If you observe, so the properties of wood will be present in duster, chair, and table. Along with it, the duster will have some of its own properties. The chair will have its own unique properties, and in the same way the table will also have some unique properties. So as you can observe here, so there are some common properties as well as some unique properties. So there will be some common properties across the objects and some unique properties across the objects. So these common properties are called as behaviors. So the common properties are called as behaviors. So, and these unique properties are called as characteristics. So when I create, suppose, let me explain once again. So this is my class. So what is my class? Wood is my class. I have created three objects. So object one is duster, object two is chair, and object three is table. So when I create these three objects will have some common properties as well as some unique properties in between them. So these common properties are called as behaviors and unique properties are called as characteristics. So this is with respect to the real world. So when I pronounce behavior and characteristics, it is with respect to the real world. But when it comes to the software world, that is when it comes to the programming world, what I call them is the data, the behaviors are called as member methods or functions. You can call it as member methods or you can call it as member functions. In the same way, these characteristics are called as data members, or we can also call it as member data. The usually I'll pronounce them as member functions or data members. So you should know all the terminologies. Therefore I'm saying it as it is also called as member functions or member methods, and these are also called as member data or data members. So let me take another example here. So I have downloaded it from internet. So here the class name is person. What is the class name here? Class name is person. So this class is created for two. This class, using this class we have created two objects. So first object is John and second object is Desi. Before learning more about this diagram, I'll like to introduce you to the syntax of a class. So how to create a class? So to create a class, you have to use the keyword class. Then you have to give the class name. So class name is nothing but the name of user choice. So class name, then you have to type in all the characteristics and behaviors. Characteristics, then behaviors, then you have to close the class. So what happens here? So let me take another real world example. Class person. So this is a class name. So this person will have some common behaviors or some unique properties like name, age. Let me take two examples. Then he will have some common properties: eat, walk. Enough. So this is the syntax for creating a class. So class is a keyword. You should use small c for creating a class. Then class name. Observe here, I have used the class keyword as it is. Then I have used the user defined name. So you can create car, you can create bike, you can create vehicle, you can create any name, but it should not be a keyword. What do you mean by keyword? We will learn in the next session. So then we have some characteristics. Characteristics are unique. Unique properties are called as characteristics. So name, age, these are unique from person to person, and it will also have some common properties. These common properties are eat, walk, etc. So now when we come back to our example, see here. Here we have some data members. Remember, these data members are unique, therefore they are called as characteristics. And we have also members methods or data members or just methods. These are called as behaviors. See, how many data members are there? There are 5 data members are there. Which are the data members present here? Unique ID, name, age, city, gender. So observe here, in the first object it is John, and in the second object it is Desi. First object age is 35, second object it is 20. He is from, in first object city is Delhi, and in second object city is Pune. In first object gender is male, in second object gender is female. As you can observe here, these characteristics are unique from object to object. But these behaviors, eat, both the persons will eat, both the persons will study, both the person will sleep, and both the person will play. So we can extend the definition of our object as it is a blueprint of object which has some common behaviors and unique characteristics. I think you have understood why I have added this sentence. So class is a blueprint of object which has some common behaviors and unique characteristics. So when it comes to software world, these terminologies are very important. Which are the terminologies? One is data member and second one is member methods or member functions. So see here. So let me write the syntax for creating the objects. So for creating the objects, we have to use the syntax class name followed by object name, then equals new class name. So this is the syntax for creating the object. For example, if I want to create a object for person class, first I have to write the class name. So class name is person. Then I will create one object for person called Suman. Then object name is Suman. Then new is written as it is. Then I have to give the class name as person. So what happens here? So here the object will be created. The object name is Suman and it will have all the properties of class person. So this is with respect to the classes and objects. So I think you have understood the definition of class and definition of object. So there are two more definitions. First one is member data and second one is member methods. So what do you mean by member data? So member data is nothing but variables created inside the class are called as data members, and functions that are created inside the class are called as member data. So what do you mean by variable? That we are going to learn in the next chapter. See, when it comes to real world object, the terminologies are characteristics and behaviors. So remember, the characteristics are are unique for each and every object. Sorry, unique for each and every object, whereas behaviors are common for all the objects. So when it comes to software object, so the characteristics are called as member data and behaviors are called as member function or member methods. So I would like to wrap up this session using a simple example of a class called car. As I have told you earlier, syntax is class, then I have to use the object name. Here in this case my object name is car, so I will create one data member, that is color. Second data member is, first data member is color. Second data member is car type, it may be SUV or it may be uh, sedan or something else. Then we will have some model, some another object called as model. Models are different from each object. So let me take some common behaviors like driving mode or driving methodology, then journey. All these are some behaviors or member methods. So for I have created this class. This class has three data members and two member functions. So let me create three objects for this class. So how to create an object? Car followed by, so it will auto correct, therefore I will create a capital C in my class name so that it should be matched. As I have explained earlier, Java is a case sensitive language. It treats uppercase and lowercase letters differently, so you should be careful while writing your names. So first let me create object as Honda is equal to new car. So this is my first object, car Maruti is equal to new car. This is my second object. Then I will also create third object, that is Toyota. Toyota is equal to new car. So I have created three objects for the class car. So let me give you the diagrammatical view of what I have just done. See here, it is taking this color. Uh, so 1 minute. I'm trying to insert the shape here. So yes, okay. So this is one example. So in this example, I will create three objects. So my first object, second object, and third object. So let me give you the more 1 second. So when I execute all these statements, so when I visualize it, it will be looking something like this. That means, see here, my object names are Honda, Maruti, and Toyota. So my object names are Honda, Maruti, and Toyota, and my class name is car. So my class name is car. So using this car, I have created three objects. First one is Honda, second one is Maruti, and third one is Toyota. So as I have explained earlier, this class will have three separate copies of our, what are these called? These are called as characteristics. Very good. That is color, type, and model. Color, type, and model. Color, type, and model. So along with it, I have already also explained that the behaviors are common for all the objects. Therefore, these are created as an individual copy for each and every object. That is, driving is created as a single copy, journey is created as a single copy, but color, type, model, that is our characteristics, are created for separate copy. Let me ask you, if I create 21 objects for the class car, how many copies of color are created? How many copies of colors are created? Just add me in the comments. How many copies of driving will be created? Just pin me or just answer me in the comment box. So observe here. So as I have already explained, the characteristics are individual copies for each and every object, whereas the behavior, that is member functions, are single copy for all the objects. If I want to add some data to this object's uh, variable, what is the syntax? Then we have to use the syntax object name dot data member name data member. So this is the syntax that we have to use to add the data. For example, in this scenario, so if I want to add some data to the color concept, so I have to type object name, that is Honda dot color is equal to black. So what happens here? Black will be saved inside color. So other two colors are not touched. If I want to add color to Toyota object, so Toyota dot color is equal to red. So red will be saved inside the concept. So if I call Honda dot driving, so what happens? So this will create datas using which objects data, or which will create result using Honda objects data. So I want a, let me give a task for, I have a white sedan, I have a white sedan Wagner with me. I want three statements. So using these statements, what should happen? Using these three statements in my Maruti objects, it should place white. It type it is sedan, and in model it should be a Wagner. Just comment this. So this is the major thing you should be learning in this chapter. You have to understand what is an object and what is a class. So you can say that class is nothing but a blueprint and object is a instance. So don't be confusing with this word instance. Instance is nothing but copy of a class. Instance is nothing but a copy. So when you consider a class will have some common behaviors across its objects, and it will also have some unique behaviors across its objects. The common behaviors are called as member methods, and unique characteristics are called as data members or member data. So there are two types of objects. One is real world objects and another one is software world object. When you consider real world example, it is called as real world object. When you consider Java programming, it is called as software world objects. So these three syntaxes are very important, as it is very important for your examination point of view. This is the syntax for creating the class, this is the syntax for creating the object, and this is the syntax for accessing the objects. So along with the syntaxes, I have given some examples for creating a class. For example, this is the first example for creating the object, sorry, creating a class, and this is the second example for creating a class. Then I have given examples for creating objects. This is the first example for creating the object. So here are some more examples of creating the objects. So there is a site called W3 Schools. When I was learning, this site helped me a lot. W3 Schools is a website where you can learn free coding skills. Here we want to learn about Java. So we have learned about how Java programming will work. All this, the flow is different, but we have learned about Java classes and objects. How to create a class? See here, class. The class name is given as main. So how to create an object? So class name, object name is equal to new class name. Here you can learn coding by yourself also. So this is the best method of learning. So try to learn the concepts correctly. Try to learn the real world implementation or programming implementation. So although your programming has not been started, so up to 4 to 5 sessions you will be learning about some basic concepts. After that you are going to learn about programming. Thank you for your cooperation. If you want, or if you want to give any feedback, please comment me.